You don't be spitting facts. You don't cite no statistics.
Okay, go
You
ahead.
don't be spitting no facts, bro. You be spitting your opinion. That's not a fact.
You ain't doing no facts, and you
Don't
just
fact, bro.
stats from these goddamn chicks.
Just because you feel it, don't make it a fact.
I'm not a chick,
You
I'm
don't
a
know.
woman.
You ain't out here on the streets like you say you is. You're not.
Oh, now it's time for the sign language. You're not in the streets like you claim to be. Like he never claimed that. Again, who's getting more emotional right here? We can't have this conversation.
You have a child,
He has two.
I have two.
and then you got the vasectomy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish I had got it before both of them.
Jesus Christ, bro. I was with you.
What
for that.
foolishness is that?
Because
Like
I had
that play
children with the
game.
wrong person.
But you got kids.
You ain't talk about the person. They're
that's
here
so
now.
different,
You a
though.
looker?
I love my children. I just don't love the situation that I'm in with their mom.
You chose the baby mama. So
Out there for the
You
ladies.
said you have a.
All right, so let me point out a few things. That's really where I could have just gone to my page, right? But I will play some more of you of the reaction to it. So he said, "This is a guy who claimed he's speaking facts. Okay, let's just face the facts. Never mind the emotions, any feelings, right? That's what he claims, right? But then it's cap. You know, I'm gonna call cap on this shit anyway every day of the week, right? But I want you to pay attention to something, right? He was so much willing to speak fast. I say, is men talk too fucking much these days. We need to slow down. We're talking too much. I understand we should speak our minds. I get it that we should talk a little bit more. But when it comes to the public, you have to be careful what you're pushing out there. Your children are gonna watch this, right? And you may say, but that's not what I said. I said something different. But hey, if 7 people out of 10 people are interpreting what you said emotionally, you may want to pay attention to the emotions you're creating. It's just emotional intelligence, okay? It just makes sense so you don't shoot yourself on the legs and hurt yourself and the people you love in the process of speaking truth and facts. This is my job, my mission here to point out to you, okay? While you're speaking facts, remember you're creating new problems because at the end of the day, we're emotional beings. Evil men, right? Let's stop the cap. Evil men, right? So I want you to pay attention to, as much as you try to speak facts, I'm going to play it again. It's a very short 40-second clip, right? And I want you to pay attention to something.
You have a child,
he has two.
I have two.
and then you got the vasectomy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish I had got it before both of them.
Jesus Christ, bro. I was with you.
What
for that.
foolishness is that?
No, we know Anton is a lot more connected emotionally to emotional stuff. We know that part, right? Which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all, right? Now, whatever point he was trying to win, he lost a lot of points, right? By saying that one thing. With who? With his own. Like, imagine his children. Imagine events happening in their life with his children 5 years from now. The children are now 17, 18 years, and they hear this, and the children are now able to use this as an ammunition against him and say, yeah, I saw a clip of you saying we are mistakes, literally, just because you had us with our mother, right? Oh, okay, I'm stretching it, right? Okay, wait, he's speaking so much fact. Watch this part.
Because I had children with the wrong person.
Okay, he did say I had children with the wrong person. Watch the next step.
But you got kids.
You ain't talk about the person. They're
that's
here
so
now.
different,
You a
though.
looker?
I love my children. I just don't love the situation that I'm in with.
So why can't he say, why did he say, I love my children, but, well, if you have any level of emotional intelligence at all, you know that anytime you use the word but, it negates everything before that. Oh, maybe that wasn't common sense, but that's a fact of life. Anytime you say anything and you say but, and we're talking about emotional matters, we're talking about relationship between the people you love and stuff like that, it negates everything before that. It's like saying, I'm sorry, but you might as well not be sorry because the apology is stupid. Doesn't make any sense, right? All right, good. How come he can't say, I hate the woman I had children with? He's now found himself in the rabbit hole, and he's trying to sugarcoat. Why? Because he starts to pay attention to, maybe I said the wrong thing, right? Exactly. See, the cap that I'm just speaking truth and facts, is huge in multiple colors all over the place on the internet. At the end of the day, we're emotional beings. You found yourself in a situation that's terrible already. You know, you probably hopefully Lapeef started signing release. He needs to start signing releases, by the way, because somebody's going to come back and say, can you take that video down? And they're going to file a lawsuit, a real one, right? Because they're getting that big. But my point is this, right? Isn't it better to start thinking about what we're saying up front before we start to say it in the name of fact and truth? We need to say it as it is. We need to be shaming with all this. Isn't it better that we slow down, realize that, listen, as human beings, we are spirits. The words, the ideologies you carry are extremely powerful. You need filters. Yes, you do. Never mind all the woke people that said, no, let's not. No, you need filters because there's some toxic shit in you that you don't want to say. That's why you don't go out there and drink and start talking anyhow. Because if you do that, there is some toxic shit in you. That's the reality. Because you've been through some experience in life that's not always pleasurable. And if you drink or you're drunk you're high on the wrong things, like for example, an ideology, right? Ideologies are created from good intentions sometimes, but they create the wrong thing because when you mix them together with certain experiences, they don't always create good results. We got to start paying attention. And this is an example of it. So I'm going to go back to some of the reactions. This is the reaction after that. Now, obviously, a lot of the women obviously overreacted to this, naturally and rightfully so, but only Anton and maybe JR was doing the moderator, right, was able to say, nah, bro, slow the F down. You're running your mouth, but we can't take this back.
No, y'all are having the wrong conversation. This man basically said he regret having his kids.
No, I did not. No,
you did.
I
regret. He didn't have a choice. He said he didn't have a choice.
No.
What?
He said he wished he would have got a vasectomy before he had the 2 kids.
That's exactly
literally what he said. Word for word.
Anton, you're not listening.
What he said is very clear. Why is it that they're arguing about it? Why? Because they're trying to backtrack. Why do you keep putting yourself in a position where you have to backtrack? There are two types of people here. They put themselves in a position where they have to backtrack, or they dig deeper rabbit hole for themselves. It's two types of people, right? And we're having more people saying, no, I'm just going to dig a deeper rabbit hole for myself. We're having more and more of those people coming out on the scenes. And then when you have a person that's toxic, take it to another level for us, you say, but that's not what I meant. It's too late. This is the society we're building. We have to be at least aware. I'm not saying you shouldn't speak the truth. What I am saying is that you may want to assess your own version of the truth. Make sure it's actually truth. Are you paying attention to the result you're creating, the outcome you're creating? Because that's the actual truth, not your words.
Because one of the first things the lady
I was listening.
Hold on. One of the first things the lady said was a vasectomy is reversible. If I had got a vasectomy before I had children, I could then reverse it and choose who I want to have children with. Right or wrong.
Or you could already have children and say, hey, this is life. I'm blessed. I have my children. God had a plan for me. He took me through a process. I'm going to make the most out of it, the best out of it, and not be hateful, not say something so stupid on the internet, right? And make the most out of it. And not feel the need to be right to the point where you're saying, in one shape, form or the other, you're saying you hate the mother of your kids. That's what you're saying, right? So it doesn't matter what you're trying to fix right now. You said the wrong thing. And now this is going to be on the internet for life, right? Your children can potentially see this. Hopefully you're doing a good job at raising your children. They will never need to use this as an ammunition against your relationship with them, right? Because again, if it aligns, they're going to be forced to say, hey, you said once upon a time that it was a regret that we're here. They're not going to pay attention to, like, I meant I should have chosen a different spot. They're not going to pay attention to that. They're going to pay attention to what hurt them the most as a human being. Gentlemen, this is our responsibility.
Or,
sometimes.
But who says, listen, who in a right mind, any man in the world, says, I wish I would have got a vasectomy?
Raw dog king.
Because the kids is already here. right?
The kids are here. The humans. They're here.
And what man in their right mind says, I wish I would have got it before I had the ones that I had? That's crazy,
The
bro.
one that has learned from his.
Stop talking. You know, one of the hardest things to do is to let go. To all of us, when you're just stop. It's easier said than done. Yes, I get that. Just stop talking altogether. But of course it wouldn't.
That seen the product of his mistake.
Right. So you regret your kid. Hold on, y'all gotta.
The product of your mistake is your children. There's some things that you should never say, no matter how much you're trying to be right. If your children, let me say this to you, if your children are a product of a mistake, you should never say, never mind that you think it's logical and it's technically correct anyway. That's all bullshit. You should never be comfortable saying my kids are the product of a mistake. Right? You should never be that comfortable. Not especially if they're already here. Not especially if it's two of them. It's two of them with the same woman, and you refuse to look in the mirror and hold yourself accountable and say, hey, this is my cross, I'm going to carry it. But you keep running your mouth with manosphere talking points on the internet, and you expect that this will not be used against you by your loved ones later on. Oh man, it's terrible. I hope JR find mercy and take down those videos. I doubt it.
You're not listening what I'm saying.
I'm not listening. I can hear you very well. I
regret.
Me too. I can hear you.
The person in the situation that I had children in. I don't regret the children. I love my children to death.
That's cute. But I heard what you said. So you didn't think about what you said before you said it. Stop saying that I'm not listening. I heard you well. What I heard you say is you wish you would have had a vasectomy prior to having the kids that you have. That means, and I don't know if you really comprehending what you're saying before you saying it. So maybe you should think about it.
No, it's not, because it's an ideology. That's how ideologies work. It's like religion. You know, everything is answered. Don't ask any more further questions. There's nothing new to learn. We have everything, all the answers here. Never mind listening to people. We know exactly what they're about to say. There's no need to listen to them. That's how ideologies work. They're written down in stone. They're not to be questioned. People already made up their mind what they think about issues. Right? Never mind listening to this individual. We know how all women think. Never mind listening to this man as an individual. We know that all men are scums. These are the things that's destroying our society that we need to pay attention to.
Before you say it, but what it means is that you're regretting having the kids that you have. That's regardless if you had them with the person that you had them with. You wish you hadn't had them kids with that woman.
Okay, that's not what you meant. That's how it's been interpreted. You need to pay attention to how your words are being interpreted. That's your responsibility as a man. You're a human being. You're not a lion, an animal, an alpha male lion. You're not that. You're a human being, and you plan to continue to interact with human beings. You don't live in a cave. You're a social being. You need to have better social skills. What you say is being interpreted a certain way. You need to pay attention to that, because that's part of your power. That's part of you engaging your power. And if you do the opposite of that, you're playing a victim, and victims are exactly that. They're going to be exactly victims. And you cannot play a victim and engage your power in the same breath. It's a losing battle. You're just shooting yourself on the legs perpetually.
Which means that those kids shouldn't exist because you wish you hadn't had them with that woman, right?
Right.
So how am I missing what you're saying?
I should not have. Because I was...
He just sees he keeps digging a deeper hole for himself. Because he has the need to be right. The same thing that Kevin Samuels talks about, right? That you can't win with your need to be right, because everyone feels they are right. Instead, you're better off as a leader in this society engaging active listening, right? Unless you're a judge on a court, right? And obviously your job is to make someone right and wrong, right?
I need you to narrate for me. Is that what you said, Vincent?
What I said from the beginning was...
that what you... It's a yes or no?
You
didn't say that.
Listen what I'm saying.
I'm saying I'm not listening. I can hear you very well.
I regret the person and the situation that I had children in. I don't regret the children. I love my children to death.
That's cute.
But so I don't regret my children. I love my children to death. But nigga, you just negated everything you said. That right there is I could say that over and over and over and over again, and it will be more than enough for this session. It's just a lot of men that don't understand that. They explain and mansplain themselves to death, socially speaking. Right? If you love your children, let everything stop right there. Engage the powers that you have. Control only things you can control. Things that are in the past. For example, the mistake or choice of a certain type of woman, or anything that has created something that you claim to value. Just stop right there. Stop talking about the but. But I'm saying you're hurting yourself. Your image matters. I did a whole session. My tribute to Kevin Samuel was about image, including what you say becomes your image in public. Yes, it becomes what you. That's the reality. That's the reality. If you rub somebody off the wrong way, they're going to remember that more than your stupid truth and facts. That's just reality.
But I heard what you said. So you didn't think about what you said before you said it. Stop saying that I'm not listening. I heard you well. What I heard you say is you wish you would have had a vasectomy prior to having the kids that you have. That means, and I don't know if you really comprehending what you're saying before you saying it, so maybe you should think about it before you say it. But what it means is that you're regretting having the kids that you have, regardless if you had them with the person that you had them with. You wish you hadn't had them kids with that woman, which means that those kids shouldn't exist because you wish you hadn't had them with that woman, right?
Right.
So how am I missing what you're saying?
I should not have.
Are you listening to what you say? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Take a minute.
Just look at the confusion on the ladies' faces. Right? Just look at the confusion on their faces, right? They actually have empathy for him. I do too. Right? But there's somebody that we can't see his face right now. He's actively looking for a way to justify this bullshit. Let's keep going.
Are you listening to what you're saying, bro?
I understood exactly what you were saying, and I understood what I said. You're right. If I could go back into
how am I off in assessing that you wish you hadn't had the kids that you had?
No, because you're saying I regret the children. The children did nothing wrong. I don't regret them. I regret the situation.
But what you're showing is that your disdain for her is stronger than your love for them.
That's not true.
That is what you're saying.
See how it goes to truth? Everyone thinks they're telling the truth. How about that's not relevant? It's being received that way. What you're saying is your truth. Granted, it's being received differently. Or we're just gonna cap that it doesn't matter. It does. Your image matters. Your branding, the way you brand yourself in public matters. Even if you mean well. Your intentions are overrated for the most part.
No, well, that's how you interpret it.
What he's saying. That's not what the man is saying. What you don't realize is this. And then we didn't went over this before, so I don't know why Anton want to be brand new and start goddamn putting on this cape to save somebody.
Of course, he's putting on the cape, right? We don't like the truth, do we? The actual truth, the outcome you're creating, even in the conversation, the outcome you created in this conversation is the reaction they're getting. But anytime we get that, oh yeah, somebody's escaping, right? Yeah, that's exactly what they do on the other side.
About it. The thing is that women.
Who am I saying?
Wait, no, listen, just wait. Women have choices, men don't.
That's
What
not
do that-
how
wait, wait,
Hold on.
And we have like 30 other talking points to support this bullshit, of course. We're not gonna worry about that. Let's go on to this other video. So again, like I was saying, excuse me, let me drink some water. Let me play a little bit more of that.
I don't disagree with shit. I know the facts of the matter that goddamn that
Bro,
what
you don't be spitting facts. You just like no statistics.
okay, go
You
ahead.
don't be spitting no.
All right, so this video is what I wanted to go to, right? So like I was saying, there's a video that was between here and here, and they deleted it. But I guess maybe they made up behind the scenes. Now JR is deleting stuff because the two panelists, maybe they made up, they felt it was too negative. No, remember what I said. If you have an ideology you're pushing, don't be surprised if somebody takes it to the next level for you. If you're arguing that, no, I'm not creating hate. Hey, let me tell you something. Every time you're creating a solution, it's just a default of life. You are potentially 99% of the time creating a new problem. That's what creates the life, the human experience we have today. That's why we keep continuing to make money and push money around. It's the same thing. We're creating more problems. We're solving more problems, but we're creating more problems. That's the essence of life, in a weird, twisted way, right? So it's okay. I'm not mad at it. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to call all this man's attention to it. So hey, don't stop overreacting to the same problem you created with your quote unquote solutions, right? That's all I'm saying. So the deleted videos, but shout out to Drummer Boy. Drummer Boy is always reacting to Lapeef Network stuff too, and he had this here. So thank God I was able to find it. The video title said Anton and Logic beef, right? But I thought it was necessary that we'll point this out as a last minute example today of be careful what you put out there, unless you're intentionally just looking to go viral. In that case, hopefully you understand the cost of it, right? That means your legacy could be dragged just because quote unquote you're speaking truth. It's just the reality of where we are as a society, okay? If that's the case, I'm not mad at you too, but my job is to point you to the outcome of your actions. You have to hold yourself accountable for that. Look in the mirror and say, hey, I created that. If I care about solving the problem, I still need to solve the problem, right? Especially gentlemen, us, right? So let's go.
No facts, bro. You be spitting
At the seat.
Wait, you telling her to call the person that y'all complaining about her calling the authorities about?
No, I'm complaining about Nan.
So let me prepare the ground. They were talking about how black women are the one that calls the police on the black man. It's a man's for talking point. If you've been around, you've heard this multiple times, you're tired of it. Or you like it. You also repeat the same bullshit over and over, right? It doesn't make it not truth. I'm just saying, you might want to be a little bit more creative in your talking points if you care about solution, because once we hear the same thing over and over again, it gets watered down, because again, it's like you sound like a robot, right?
And these are sizable books. They're minimum 200 pages. You can download them absolutely for free by simply going to, for example, this one, you just go to getmymarriageback.com, smartrealestatewholesaling.com, realestatemoneysecrets.com. So yes, I am a 3-times author. Those books are out there for your consumption, and they are also available everywhere on Amazon, anywhere that you pick up books. So in case you prefer a physical book like that.
But they're talking about, why black women should not be calling the police. And of course, Anton, who tends to be the one who makes a little bit more sense when it comes to intersexual dynamics, he had something to say about that. And that's what this was about. And that's how it started.
You try to make an argument on something. Because wait, hold up.
Really quick. The statistics say 1 in 3 women
talk to each other
experience domestic violence.
So they said, hey, what about DV? Physical assaults between man and wife? And Logic said, hey, that's only minority. That's only very, very small percentage of people. But of course, they dispel that instantly, because 1 out of 3 women go through that situation. They had an argument earlier that, of course, naturally proximity, black people tend to hurt black people, white people tend to hurt white people, so that cancels everything out. But then when they come back to the other side of the argument, they forgot about that point, right? Again, everyone is capping with the stupid argument. They're supposed to face individuals and say, how can we help you create a better life? How can we help you create better relationships? We're not having that conversation anywhere, okay?
From an intimate partner, 1 in 3.
No, wait
1 in 3.
How many?
I just want to know,
1 in 3.
what do they suggest?
1 in 3.
Because listen, maybe they right. Maybe we just completely off. What would y'all suggest that women do? I'm calling the cops.
Die.
Me? I'm calling women.
I'm not asking the women.
But I'm for real
the
calling.
gentlemen that support the narrative. What would y'all say that the women should do?
Well, what narrative?
Here go Rilla. Rilla puts on a cape, and I love Rilla to death. Rilla puts on a cape and says support one narrative. The narrative that is the black women that are calling police on the black men. That narrative right there.
Fucking police.
You said what happened?
So Anton is asking, what do you want women to do, considering the fact that they're the weaker gender, if there is a altercation, a physical assault, something physical in the household? What do you want them to do? Since you are complaining about them doing exactly that part, which is calling the police, what do you want them to do? It's a valid question, right?
Call the police.
I'm not.
Why are y'all?
So you were complaining about calling the police, but now you're saying call the police, right? All right.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Because you ain't listening. You go wait.
Hold on, Anton. Don't disappear.
No, Anton, come back.
Don't say that, Caleb. Hold up. Just let us have the conversation.
How come y'all niggas can communicate effectively? Ain't nobody listening to
You
you.
want to know? I'm gonna tell you because you didn't listen. What we're talking about is men that put hands on women. You're talking about a small percentage.
Hey, so black men says 2 out of 4 men experience DV. Yes, absolutely, right? I have personal people, very close, personal people that have experienced not the most popular narrative when it comes to DV, right? So I know, but you know what they say when I bring that up? If I don't focus on the individuals, they say that's anecdotal. See, everyone that has their own agenda to push, they always have a pushback. It's like the scriptures. They can always find one Bible verse to support bullshit. So what I learned is that, let me hear your story. I want to hear your story. Let's deal with you and not use the statistics unless I'm a professor and I'm teaching in the class. That's a different scenario. But when we're talking about fixing this issue in society, we really can't be cutting corners and blanking everybody out with the statistics, because everyone has their own anecdotal, whatever they want to point out to push against anything. We have to be careful with that, But yes, the point was that black women were calling the police on black men. That's a reality. We know that happens. We know that part, right? But the idea is you're complaining about it. What do you want them to do? That's basically what Anton was talking about.
That's not true, Logic.
Logic. I literally just looked up the statistics, and it says 1 in every 3 women will experience domestic violence from their intimate partner. And I think
not to talk about the underreported part of it. A lot of these things are not being reported, right?
70% or 60% of women are heterosexual. So it's a lot of women.
More than 40% of black women would experience domestic violence in their lifetime, according to the Institute of Women's Policy Research Status of Black Women in the United States, in comparison to 31.5% of all women will experience domestic violence.
But wait a minute. I thought I wasn't listening now.
That's a lot.
Hold up.
No, we was talking about a lot. That's a lot.
How come whenever somebody disagree with his point, we not listening?
Well, I can't say that I disagree with Anton about a woman basket.
Shout out to Drummer Boy again.
Because I see what Logic talking about.
I don't see what Logic is talking about. For the most part, I actually don't see it. He actually gets more emotional than everybody else on the platform. But shout out to Logic. I guess it's a conversation, right? My point is everyone should stop the cap with the emotions and stuff. Everyone gets emotional. We all do. Let me see here. Yeah.
I don't disagree with shit.
We heard you. We just disagree.
He said, we heard you. We just disagree. Just let me know who's getting more emotional here. Everyone gets emotional. That's a fact in the conversation, right? But if you were to pinpoint who's getting more emotional, do you use their words just because they say I'm not emotional? Does that make them not emotional? Or you're looking at their actions? Just watch it.
I don't disagree with shit.
I don't disagree with shit. It's like that little boy that says, I don't care. You do. You're just a little boy. Right? We gotta look at your actions. Your actions speak louder than your words.
The facts of the matter that goddamn that
You see, he just said the fact of the matter. Just pay attention to when people use the word fact and truth. Every time somebody say fact and truth, I start looking at them sideways. Now I'm inclined to prove them wrong, and I try not to do that. But I'm just looking at, they're usually the one that's copying, okay? Because again, if you're so factual and truth, we should be able to look at the outcome you're creating and say, hey, you're right. Those are the facts and the truth. But if the only thing that's proving that you're speaking fact and truth is your words, yeah, it falls short.
Bro, you don't be spitting facts. You don't spit no statistics. You don't be spitting no facts, bro. You be spitting your opinion. That's not a fact.
You ain't doing no facts, and you just fact, bro. That's from these goddamn chicks.
Just because you feel it don't make it a fact.
You ain't out here on the streets like you say you is. You're not.
Now it's time for the sign language. You're not in the streets like you claim to be. Like he never claimed that. Again, who's getting more emotional right here? We can't have this conversation. Let's look at the. If you point that to the left, you're right. Right?
I'm telling you, you're not,
bro. Listen. I'm sure you in the streets way more heavy than I am, Logic, okay? You are Mr. Street Captain. You go straight from work and you hit the streets. I'm sure you are in the streets killing it. You kicking it with the drug dealers. You know all the statistics, but you don't cite none of the facts. And when somebody prove you wrong, you don't never say, you know what, I was off on that.
Nigga.
You not Captain Street America.
Nigga, it is fact because I say it is fact. How about that? Right? This is exactly what I see on those YouTube streets. Just people saying it's fact, and then the source is retarded, right?
Not like you. Didn't I just bust your head by the Bible shit the other day?
You didn't.
You're a goddamn lie.
Every word coming out of his mouth is loaded with emotions. Is it just me? Yeah, I don't think so.
Put that video back up there.
Wait, so I have a question. Logic.
Nigga, I don't speak out emotions.
Oh, here you go. He doesn't speak out of emotion because it said so. Never mind proving that I don't speak out of emotions with my face. Right? I don't speak out of emotions because I said I don't speak out of emotions. This is the conversations we're claiming is going to help us build our society. Again, when you're pushing certain type of rhetoric, don't be surprised if somebody take it to the next level for you. That's really the theme of this session today. Okay? If you're pushing that, if you're not paying attention to the problems you're creating, that person that's taking that problem will take it to the next level for you, and then you will end up 5 years from now saying, he took me out of context. No. You helped us create this problem we have. If we have gender war out there, you helped us create that problem. You did. We did. We created the problem. We need to first of all acknowledge that before we can claim that we're gonna help fix.
I dropped.
Nigga, you are the most emotional one on the panel.
That's right.
You're the most emotional person on the panel. Bro, hold on, wait. Hold on, Courtney. Hold on. As a matter of fact, you're more emotional than all the women on the panel. All of them.
And this come from the nigga that.
Shots fired. I need some sound effects. Shots fired. I'm gonna get me some sound effects very soon. I gotta get myself together here. Shots fired. I agree with Anton, but it's a moment, okay? It doesn't mean it's not a masculine man. It doesn't mean it's a beta male. It doesn't mean it, but it's definitely feminine energy moment for Logic right now.
Hang out with cheerleaders, man. You know with women and you.
Oh yes, I'm being nice. Okay, I'm being, I'm being nice.
On every single show, you get more talk time. You do all of the stuff. You done got into it with every single person on the panel in less than 3 months, and you sitting here talking about somebody else being the most.
I call it straight.
He calls it straight because he said he calls it straight. Never mind your opinions if I calls it straight or not. I calls it straight, and you better believe me because I said so. Right? Is this what we're calling the conversation that will build the black community? We need to start paying attention. When I say black, I mean Africans, black, colored people, all of us, right? Those of us that some people will consider the conquered people, we need stronger conversations. We need stronger conversations that are emotionally intelligent, that acknowledges the emotions, that drives 85% of everything we do. The biggest variable in all of this, right? We need that, okay? And we're not going to shut down the Mr. Logics of this world. We need him as well, but we need a proper balance in this conversation, right? We're not just going to say somebody is logical or factual because they say they are. It doesn't make sense if we claim we're trying to build a community.
What's wrong with being emotional?
No,
I have
don't.
emotions. We're human.
I expect you, Lady T, to call me emotional.
Look,
I said, what's wrong with being emotional? You're not even listening.
That's a good question. What's wrong with being emotional? Why is it that you're taking offense to it when somebody calls you emotional? Why not engage that? Why not embrace that? Right? Excuse me, sorry. Why not embrace the possibility? Not a possibility, it's a fact. That's the actual fact. Why not embrace the fact that you're actually an emotional being like the rest of us? What is that going to do to you? Make you feel less than a man?
I said, what's wrong with we're human? Rage, frustration, sadness, that's all emotions.
He the one that invented fade to black. I remember one episode, this dude faded to black at least 40 times.
This nigga acting like a straight hoe right now.
No, not now. I'm a hoe. Now I'm a whore. Look at you, bro. That's literally the definition of being emotional is when you start name calling
because
you can't support your argument.
That's a fact.
You're getting wiped down right now.
You're name calling, you're shaming, you're insulting, you're guilt tripping. You have a need to be right. That's precisely emotional.
Now, and now you want to
argument from what we was talking.
Oh, never mind all that. Look at his facial expression, right? Look at Mr. Logic's facial expression. Who is more emotional, right? I could be wrong, but I think I would say Mr. Logic right now.
Your pussy ass talk about.
Oh, the pussy ass, of course.
Look, is this not the very definition of emotional?
That's exactly what emotional is. Which Anton gets emotional too, but at least it's acknowledging that he gets emotional. I get emotional. We all get emotional. It's terrible when you can't acknowledge and admit that you're part of the problems in the society if you can acknowledge exactly what you are, because you can't see past yourself, and that's dangerous for the rest of us. That's really the message here, the lesson here. And we have way too many men saying facts over feelings, and they're literally speaking out of emotions, past hurt that they haven't really taken the time to heal.
Fade to black.
Now
let's get back on track. Let's get back on track, y'all. I think Courtney Michelle trying to say something. I think Courtney Michelle trying to say something.
Yeah, because I want to see.
Is that a lot to you?
Yeah, that's what I want to go.
Well, guys, did you?
Yeah, it's not over yet. I think there's more.
Listen, bro, just take your L. I know you trying to act like the male version of K.
The male version of K. Shots fired. Damn. Wow.
You can never be wrong.
Be coming from a weekend. From weekend.
Hold on.
Male version.
Hold on, wait.
You can't play these games with me, man.
All right, so Anton got emotional. He lost his frame really quickly. He called him out of his names too. He did. Speaking of calling a spade, I think I'm doing a better job than all this masculine alpha male.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Yeah, hold on,
lady. Stop.
Because I'm going to call you a pussy ass simp every time you say something slick.
You know, anytime I see somebody use the word simp, that's simp a lot for me. Simps tend to use the word simp first. Just watch it, okay? Usually, I used to say this, the ex-simps. Actually, they're still presently a simp because they have unrealistic expectations of other human beings, not just women, other human beings. They have this expectation that people have to be God. When they get into a romantic relationship, they're the one that tends to say, women needs to be adult too. You're dumb. You're in a romantic relationship. Both of you became children once you open your heart to a person like that. They can literally destroy you by betraying your trust. That's the reality. But you took a risk. Why? Because you fell in love. You were a simp. What made you a simp? Because you had unrealistic expectations. You expected that because you're a good person, everybody else should be good to you. You forgot that you live in a real world, a vicious world. where this betrayal is happening every day. Am I encouraging it? No, I'm not. I'm letting you know that your expectations are destroying you. There is no such thing as disappointment without expectations, and there is a spectrum that you have to pay attention to. So people who use the word simp tend to be the simps for the most part. Anytime I see somebody use the word simp, I just say simp a lot. Simp a lot. Where can you find this video? This video is on
Bro, I'm not gonna be too many more of your pussy ass bitch ass.
Okay, man.
No. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Stop, bro.
Stop what?
That's not embarrassing.
Yeah, this is. You see why they deleted the video? It makes sense why they deleted the video. But again, if you start throwing shots and threats at each other, it may just be too late. It may not even be about you. You're raising a bunch of boys and children. Let me see if I can post that link for you really quickly. Black man. That's it right there. Promote my boy, Drummer Boy, really quickly. I'm not sure if that will post through. Yeah, let's hope it. If it posts through, let me know. If it doesn't, I'll send it to you personally. All right.
Ourselves.
What makes you?
You said we was having a
Bro, stop, man. Hold on. I'm having a conversation. What make you think you can keep calling me out my name, bro?
The same way you.
Now Anton is getting emotional, but rightfully so. It's not a crime to be emotional. That's what Lady Mogulette said earlier. It's not an indictment if you get emotional. Why is it that when men hear you got emotional, they start taking an offense? You need to build better masculine frame for yourself. That's going to show your actions, not what you say. Just because you say you're masculine and alpha doesn't make you alpha. The market, the same talking point we use, the market determines and decides what you are. In this context, you don't live in a cave. You live in an environment, society like the rest of us, with other people. The leaders of this world are people that pay attention to that, not people that run their mouth, right, to tell us how masculine they are all the time. Those are the bottom, right? All right, let's get it here.
Call me a fucking female, nigga. You call me a male version of fucking K. So
this is embarrassing.
Wait. Oh, Courtney is getting triggered. So he said, see what I said about when you're fixing one problem and you're creating a new problem. We all do it. It's bad and terrible when we're not aware we're doing it. It's bad and terrible when we're not aware that we're creating new problems when you fix a problem. That also is not an indictment. It's just the reality of life. When you're fixing a problem, you're creating new problems. So now in that same sentence, you call me. Let me rewind that for you to hear that really quickly.
You call me a male version of fucking K.
You call me a male version of fucking K. Now K can listen to that and take an offense. I doubt if she will. Actually, K has better masculine frame than most of this, my friends. I'm sorry to say. Okay? I'm sorry. Okay, actions speak louder than words, right? But you could be talking about a person that will now take an offense to you actively trying to fix right now, instead of you to let go of this conversation, actively trying to fix it, but you're offending a new person. You're creating new problems.
This is embarrassing. It's too much.
Oh, in addition to that, Courtney is getting triggered. Right? Let me put my cape on and help save Courtney right now. Right? Now, you're creating more problems. Right? This is the reality. When you engage your feminine energy, especially when you're not aware that's what you're doing, it's okay. We all have feminine and masculine energy, right? But if you're not aware, you will self-destruct, okay? Women will smash you on the face 100% of the time. It's just the way it works. And you will still be right.
Yeah, let's go. Hey,
it's embarrassing.
Hold on. Go ahead, lady.
So, in the same way,
it's not embarrassing, it's a show, after all, right?
That we said earlier that men equate.
Call me on my name one more time, bro.
Come on.
That's a threat.
Come on, Anton.
Oh, y'all, let's go.
Nah, bro.
Let's go.
Call me on my name one more time.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Can we move on?
Call me on my name one more time.
Hey.
Call me on my name one more time, bro.
Hey.
So why?
Hey.